Hello YouTubers, Troz here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. This is probably just a few minutes after the end of the last episode. I've put in a station here for the extra items. These items mostly include the oil refineries and chemical plants and the trains, and we don't need them right now because we've still got a whole lot of factory to build here. So, uh, whenever... Oh, I guess some robots got around to building it. Part of it, at least. Uh, Actually, while I'm here, I guess I have the stack inserters, or filter stack inserters, so if I turn on my Robopod ports, we can build the rest of this, but a lot of this stuff isn't going to be used because it has, like, nuclear that we don't need here. What entity is missing? Construction robots. Because something, I don't know. So yeah, well, this will probably be a time lapse for a while construction is underway. So I'll see you in a bit. it's been a bit over an hour, and this factory is almost done. It seems like everything is in place. Uh, well, except, as you can see at the bottom there, some beacons and the actual rocket silo. A lot of it was finished while we were setting up a water station. But yeah, we basically are just waiting on the beacons and, of course, the modules that go in them. So let's go get the rocket silo. I did have to, as you saw, fill in or make a lot of these labs, all of the labs. And then there's a whole bunch of normal inserters that we aren't making, but like for these, or aren't bringing automatically, but like for these boilers, you only need a normal inserter, and for the science labs as well. So we had to make about 60 of them. Also, you should have seen I added a few items onto our extra stuff train, including requester and provider chests, and pumps, and liquid tanks, storage tanks. Basically everything back here. Probably should add the normal inserters as well, but we don't need to do that right now. So let's go get that rocket silo. Takes a whole lot of materials, and hopefully this will be much closer to being completely filled out. Well, let's get rid of the temporary station, so we don't need that anymore. You should have also seen when I hooked up all the tracks that the fuel train came and dropped off fuel for all the trains. So they're all ready to go. Hopefully, well, my plan is to get the rocket silo, bring it in, and then whether or not everything is done, I mean, the factory will work right now, just not at full capacity until we get all those beacons and modules in. So my plan is to, once we have the rocket silo in, to set up the trains and have them start getting materials. And hopefully they will be able to, well, not hopefully, they should be able to provide materials faster than we're using, especially since we don't have all the beacons and modules in place. Alright, we should be producing rocket silos somewhere over here. And look at that, there we go. We already have one. That's really nice. In fact, we have another one constructed, and we're about to make a third. Once this gets 1,000 concrete, which it evidently actually has sitting there. So it's just, as long as that inserter takes, and then another 30 seconds, or however long it takes to actually produce one. So let's head back and get all this started. Yeah, let's just park down here so I'm not in the way of anything. Trains tend to like to park closer to the station that they're at rather than further away. Alrighty, here we are. let's just put the train on manual before it drives away on us. And oh, I do have my personal robots on. And there we go. I tend to turn off my personal robots while the construction is going on, just so we allow the construction robots to do their thing. And wow, I only had 146 construction robots building this. Probably led to a bit of a, or not as fast as it could have been, but at this point, we're basically just waiting on these beacons and roboports to be made. So having more robots at this point is not going to speed things up. Alright, well, let's get these trains set up. Since water is right here, let's do that. We want water 4-2. And apparently I have 3 of those, so that's great. And we want full cargo. And remove this water in. Copy. Paste. And it's the blue trains with tanks. Paste. Paste. There should only be 4. We have 1. Okay, this is an iron train down there. So, let's get these trains going. Wait for the save. I should just be coming over here. If I had named this correctly. I thought I did. I probably didn't hit the apply change button. Where are they going? Oh, they're going over here, which isn't bad. I mean, they're kind of backing up here, but yeah, it's not a real problem. And look, they're coming up here, turning around, then heading back. And hopefully in the future, they'll be coming right over here. Looks like we're getting the first one in now. And yeah, that emptied real quick. But this should fill up completely. And in fact, here you can see on the mini-map, he went over here for his refill. I probably should have did this the other way around, because we're going to get double traffic here, but really these water trains should only be filling up, well, not quite this fast once we have things going. In fact, you can see this is almost full now. Yeah, this part isn't, but that's fine. The water will even out between these tanks. So, that is the first one done. Alright, we want Outpost Oil 1. And hopefully it will be able to keep up with the rate that we'll be needing oil. In fact, this should be able to run off of coal liquefaction. It's not quite as efficient. I think it might slow down a little bit to like maybe 240 signs per minute, But with the coal liquefaction, we definitely reduce our dependence on oil. We want full cargo. Why do we only have 3 oil trains? You know, that's probably fine. Like I said, we use coal liquefaction in addition to the normal oil process. I'm gonna start these in the opposite order, so now that when I start this one, they should all go. And it's gonna be a long trip for these trains. Ah, he disabled himself, I think. Yeah. I was hoping that with all the oil here, that this would fill up relatively quickly enough that this station wouldn't need to disable itself. But we're only pumping through one pump. So, it's not the quickest. You can probably add additional... pumps? Look at that. All built remotely. That should get it to fill faster in the future. All 3 trains are going out there again. We do have, though, one dropped off. We've almost used it all up. And, we got our normal oil going. Normal oil production. We don't have coal liquefaction going yet, because obviously we don't have coal. But it looks like we got our cracking and everything going. U.S. storage tank of... Oh, your storage tank of steam, but we don't have steam. Here's our light oil, and oh, we're full up on petroleum, so things should be starting to shut off real soon now. Next, you should be yes, your coal. We want you go to Outpost Coal. Copy. Paste. And you should be coal. Only 3 of those. You are on rails. What do you... That's a weird bug. I don't think I've ever ran across that before. Gotta be careful of those tracks there. Alright, we got some coal trains going off. See a little bit of pollution here. In a few minutes we'll see a good amount of pollution here. And it looks like we have some biters moving in. Hopefully this will get a resupply soon. Because that's the one thing I don't have it request new cannon shells. Oh, here we go. Getting coal. See, we're mining here, only using about 22 megawatts. We can supply 99.6. See, it's very low power normally. Oh, stack inserters, obviously, yeah, they were basically not running. Here's where the 4 different trains were, and this is just filling up the chests without a train at the station. So this should be about to be starting the production, well, starting the production of coal liquefaction, but that's not going to do too much because we're backed up on oil. I should say petroleum gas, but it will start some plastic, and probably a few other things. No, actually, maybe not, because we don't have any iron or copper yet. But the plastic will start to use up our petroleum, which will restart some of the oil production. Next up is stone. So we want outpost stone. We only have 2 stone trains. Maybe if I do that with tracks underneath it, that will work better. Alright, that seems to have worked. Let's wait until we have all the Okay, we got 3 stone trains now. Let's get them going. Let's turn off that overlay for the moment. Actually, we can. And we can turn off them all, mostly. So it looks like this is going to be a very busy track here, especially with this outpost supply factory here. But this isn't running right now, so that's fine. We may be worth it to build a track here and connect it up, although I'm not sure that's the shortest route. It should be the shortest route over to this stone, though. And we have the first train arriving, and the second. Alright, that wasn't too bad. We only have 4 chests per cargo wagon here, so it's not loading as absolutely quickly as it could be. I mean, we could have 12 chests, but normally I have 6, but as you can see, this is only a few red belts, so not completely as efficient as it could be, but it's not that big of a mining. Some way. Oh, I think that was if a wire is hooked up, you can either have it read for that one mining drill or for the whole patch. If I just The whole patch is just 10 million stone. Don't think having stone will allow any additional production. I mean, we make rails out of it and electric furnaces. I guess we'll smelt some of it. So that will begin. Here's the copper trains. It's outpost copper. Full cargo. Paste there. Paste, paste. Let's automatic. And automatic. Finally, we have iron. Outpost iron. Get rid of that. Copy. Paste. Paste there. And it's also this train way down here. Paste. Let's disable this station. That should have disabled it. Yes. We still are waiting on beacons, and once those beacons are in place, we'll need modules, so I can't stop those trains yet. Alright, let's start the both copper and iron. Iron is over here, copper is over here, so the copper's going to take a little bit longer, so let's start them first. We'll let 2 of the copper trains go through. There goes the one. Here goes the next. Let's start the iron trains. The rest should now take turns. Should all be away now. I think these are the copper trains. And we're also getting an iron train pulling in at the same time. Actually, a little bit before, but filling nice and quick. And that's the whole idea, to get the trains moving as quickly as possible, because if they're not moving, they're not really being useful. Yeah, we don't want them waiting here at the outpost. We don't mind them waiting here to unload. They're just acting as extra buffer in that case. But if they're waiting to load and we're out of ore here, then that's a problem. So we want them to load as fast as possible and also, you know, move between the two locations as fast as possible. That's why we're using nuclear fuel. Now, they're unloading here really fast. Hopefully, though, these will back up after just a few train loads. So that, you know, we always have a train waiting to unload. But meanwhile, hey, the factory is running. We got some iron smelting here. Some of it is going up and then being turned into steel, while some of it is coming down. We got copper coming in. We got stone being turned into bricks, and those then get turned into walls. And we're making green circuits here. And some of the green circuits will come over to make red circuits. We'll get some steel over here to make rails. Up here we got gears and red science. And here's some green science. Where's the green science missing? Whatever this is, which... Oh, where... Oh, it's the arms and the belts should be both on the same belt, but they're missing iron plates. Looks like we're getting some. Looks like most of them are going to gears at the moment, but we do have some red science coming. Looks like we're... Here's some gears. We got some inserters. Need some belts. But they're missing gears. Do we have any other sciences yet? I mean, those are the simplest ones. Blue science. Need some red circuits, which we are starting to get. We got military science. And we got blue circuits or advanced processors, whatever they're called. And it looks like we actually have rocket parts. Yeah, we've had these rocket fuel. That was probably one of the early things produced. Yeah, you can see that all backed up here. Now we got some yellow science, and there we got blue science. Oh, and here's some purple. We still need green, still. And, Well, you don't have any white yet. I think the gray is on its own. I think we put the space science on with the yellow productivity. Utility. Purple's productivity. How much stuff do we have to go? 300-ish beacons. And looks like the train just pulled in. How many? Well, you only have 60 left. I think we bring like 80 or 90. No green science still. What's the hold up with green science? It may just be without all the beacons in, we're not producing enough gears or enough iron plates even. Because this gear production seems to be eating almost all the iron plates, and it looks like we need some to not enough gears. Where do your gears come from? You only get one belt. Yeah, so this needs to kind of be really full in order for any significant amount of gears. And then even then, it's the red sciences sucking up the gears first. Well, when the red science backs all the way up, that should fix that issue. Additionally, this one seems to not really have a lot. We prioritize this, and yeah, since we're not getting too much out here. Yeah, we'll just have to wait until all the beacons are in. Yeah, I don't think we've produced a single bottle, vial, whatever you want to call them, of green science yet. In fact, I would expect the reds to be backed up as well. But they don't really appear to be. No. Alright, they're up to here at least, so that they should start backing up. Oh, we got a rocket. How many rockets have we launched? I haven't seen that in quite a while. And here you can see a nice bit of space science coming. This little sensor here, I guess it is, won't actually let another rocket launch if there is space science there, so that we don't waste resources. You know, if we're backed up on space science. All right, I guess I have to actually get close and click on that. The silo only has one stack worth, so we don't want to launch another rocket if we haven't emptied out, and that's how we tell if we've emptied out. And this actually stops this inserter here, which is the inserter that inserts the satellite, which we make right over here. It outputs here, goes here. Not sure why I S-hooked it like that, but instead of just putting it right here, I guess, I don't know. Maybe I had it here originally, and oh, you know what it is? It's to detect here. We have another detector, and you couldn't put the detector on the underground belt. And that stops production of a satellite if we have one waiting. Alright, here comes our green science. Yeah, you can see we're now occasionally getting gears through here. And, you know, we're backed up on Reddit, so that's why, but I wonder if doing that will help anything or hurt. Because we can actually have another output there. The gears won't be able to keep up with all of them, especially having only two inputs. Alright. See, there's two satellites there, but the little red light here, we're not inserting this because there's space science already waiting. Okay, I was going to say we need to wait until green science backs up, but there it goes. So let's start a research. I would like to do artillery range, but that's pretty expensive. We just did a few artillery ranges. Look at that. Mining productivity 16, though. It's only 32,000. I mean, that's a lot, but we can do 500 a minute now. Well, in theory, if this factory was finished. So that would be only an hour-ish. So let's start that. And here comes all the labs online, being fed with science. You can see they're all moving. This is dropping. It's at 136 science, 124, 112, 100. 64. 28. 16, and in just a moment it will be empty. There we go. And then when this empties out, we'll see this arm up here move. And then the rocket will launch just about in a second. There we go. And that product's finished too. And now it's outputting more space science. And this is all backed up again. Meanwhile, if we look at our production graph, let's say for the last minute, and click some relevant buttons here. We're not using the gray science or military science, so. Yeah, you can see these are actually hovering about where we want them. The red science is a little low. But the others are actually over the 500 we want. When I say this should do 250, it probably does 260 or thereabouts. The 250 is just a, minimum we would like. And we're missing some productivity here and some here. So yeah, our red and green science is going to be a little low, although green may not need all the, not productivity, but speed that it has to keep up. And as you can see, we're still missing quite a few. And we're down to 120-ish beacons. We may be missing more modules than that, but I think our modules are actually being produced faster than our beacons. So yeah, quite shortly, definitely before this finishes, we'll have our second science factory up to full speed. So, I think I'm going to call it an episode there. We've probably gone a little long with the time-lapse. Next time, I might be doing something special. Oh, are we already ready to launch another rocket? I mean, it should be every 4 minutes. But, yeah, we still have some science, space science left to finish. Yeah, next time, and I said at some point we're going to have to get off of nuclear for UPS. I may design a solar and accumulator production factory. Maybe. At some point, we'll have to. But for now, our nuclear is keeping up. I hope our nuclear is keeping up. Yeah, I think it is. And we haven't run into frames per second or updates per second issues yet, but at some point we're going to have to switch over. So at some point we're going to need a factory to build all the solar panels. So I might design that next time, or we might expand some more. We'll see. Just want to say thanks for watching. Stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you next time with more Factorio Megabase. See you then.